Good morning and welcome to Coffee Ann, the longest-running panel discussion show in American radio. To make a comment or ask a question of the panel, call 401-766-1240 or email coffee@woonsocket.radio.com. And now, let's join the Coffee Ann panel.
And a good morning to you. It's Tuesday morning, August 11th. Welcome to Coffee Ann on ON AM and FM, 1240 AM, 99.5 FM. I'm Joe Callahan. Let's say good morning to Ed Carew from the Carew Investment Group. Good morning, Ed.
Buenos dias, amigos.
Buenos dias to you as well. My 2 years of Spanish, and I can say buenos dias. Buenos noches as well.
Buenos noches, buenos tardes.
Yeah, that's right. I used to know some of the days of the week, too. Also joining us on the phone via Skype, John Martin from AARP. Good morning to you, John.
Hey, Joe. How are you doing?
We're doing okay. You doing all right?
I'm doing okay.
Excellent. And Linda Tebow's over here. Hi, Linda.
Good morning to you.
Good morning to you, Linda. All right, but let's get a first message from the Carew Investment Group. So back over to Ed Carew with all the all the number knowledge. That's what you have. You have some musical knowledge, too. But
Okay.
let's talk numbers right now.
Let's talk numbers. All right. Thanks, Joe. Good morning, everyone. Ed Carew here of the Carew Investment Group, 68 Cumberland Street in Woonsocket. Our telephone number is 765-8880. And, you know, they say that in business you don't last long if you don't know what you're doing. And if that's really the case, well, we must know a thing or two. I've been in the investing business since 1987, helping people just like you with their investments. At the Carew Investment Group, we employ a conservative approach to client portfolios by using only the best quality companies available, many of which pay quarterly dividends, and we look for opportunities that we expect will go up in value, not every day, but over time. We take our responsibility seriously and always place our clients first in any investment decision. If you'd like to know more or would like a free portfolio review of your current holdings, you can call me at 765-8880. Securities are offered through Bolton Global Capital, member FINRA and SIPC, and advisory services offered through Bolton Global Asset Management, a registered investment advisor.
Ed, this just came to my mind.
Yes, sir.
The expression, and it applies to your business, fly by night.
Okay.
How long has that expression been around, and how did it start? Any idea?
No, I don't.
No, okay.
I don't know. Well, why does it apply to my business?
Well, you talk about you don't want to invest in a fly-by-night operation.
Oh, well,
okay.
I guess if you're looking at it that way, I guess fly-by-night would be
they'd be done in the day.
Here today, going tomorrow.
Right. I just wonder.
I don't know, something that doesn't have any longevity to it.
Yeah, I just wonder where it started.
I don't know.
And how it started.
Didn't start with me, I can tell you that.
John, do you have
here's my theory that goes back to the early day of manned flight, and that it was very dangerous to fly by night. Very risky.
Well, that's right, because there was no radar at that time.
Right.
So you don't do it. Okay. I like that theory.
Someone can look that up.
We'll look that up. We'll leave that up to the
Does
audience.
that go under the if we don't know the answer, we'll make one up?
We'll make one up. Yeah, sure.
I've been doing it for years.
But speaking of, talking about your business, Ed, stocks have been doing okay. The last couple of weeks, even through this whole pandemic, everything is doing relatively fine. Would you say that?
Yeah, I would say that.
Okay.
Yeah. Not everything.
Well, it can't be everything, can it?
No.
So.
It never is everything, but some of the numbers are a little bit deceiving, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
The NASDAQ is at all-time highs.
Mm-hmm.
The S&P 500 is very close. It could make a new high record today, which was established in February. It could beat that. But the Dow is not close to the old high. But it's deceiving because you get companies like Amazon, Apple, Google, and Microsoft.
Mm-hmm.
Those four guys are a huge percentage of both the NASDAQ and the S&P. And they've been doing extremely well during the pandemic. Mm-hmm. Amazon, of course, because people are, ordering more.
Mm-hmm.
And Microsoft and Apple because people are buying their phones and computers and things so that they can do stuff from home, and with Amazon, Google with YouTube, people are trying to consume whatever they can online. So those four have done extremely well, and they're a big portion of those indices.
Okay, So in terms of the airlines and the cruise lines, who are not doing well at all.
Airlines, cruise lines.
But is that a small percentage?
Small percentage of this. Yeah, they are.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Okay. Have any cruise lines said when they're going to start up again?
They keep delaying it.
They do.
I keep hearing July, then August, and then October, and it's like, until there's a vaccine, it probably is going to be very difficult to really get people on board one of these ships.
So speaking of cruise lines, I believe I saw something on YouTube, the new ships that they're going to break out in 2021. So they're taking this time to make new ships.
Uh-huh.
One of them is Virgin. What's his name? Brandon? I can't remember his name.
Oh, okay.
Virgin Airlines.
Yeah, all right.
That guy.
Richard Branson.
Branson. Thank you. Thanks, John. Yeah, Richard Branson. They're coming out with a Virgin Pulse ship, and theirs is going to be different. There's no. It's really for the over 21 crowd. Not that they're saying it because they probably can't, but they really don't want kids on this ship. And to make it like that, there's no water slides.
Uh-huh.
There's no zip lines. There's no basketball hoops. There's no mini golf. There's nothing fun for the kids to do on the boat.
Right.
We really don't want you here. We really don't want the under 21 crowd here. There's no buffets. That was another thing they were going to do. They're doing it differently.
Yeah, they're saying that the buffets on the cruise ships are pretty much a thing of the past.
Are they all saying that?
They're all saying that.
Really?
Yeah.
But aren't people eating? Are they taking advantage of it?
Yeah, they are. But the thing is that they don't want the open area of a lot of people in line taking food and breathing on the food and coughing and everything else. So the buffet line is probably
going
at
away.
least for a while.
Okay.
That's what they're saying.
Wow.
Those ships were having big problems with viruses before COVID.
Yeah, they have.
Oh,
been. Yeah.
Whenever one person got sick, the whole ship got sick.
Yeah.
Basically.
So, Joe,
Yes, John.
I just missed the definition or the etymology, if you will, of fly-by-night.
You got it? Okay.
1796.
Well, that is an old expression then.
A term of reproach to a woman signifying that she was a witch.
Ah. Okay.
Oh. And then it shows up in 1823 in reference to anyone who departs hastily from a recent activity, especially while owing money. So you would take off in the night. You would fly off in the night rather than face your debt.
So don't give this person money. They're going to take off.
They're going to take off.
And then
fly by night.
And somehow it applied to business. Don't give this business money because they're just going to go away.
Yeah.
Ah.
I like
makes
my
a lot more
aircraft.
sense.
I still like my
Nothing to
aircraft
do with
stories.
me.
It's got nothing to do with Ed, and John likes his version better.
It's okay.
All right. So, Linda.
Yes.
All right.
Joe?
We're just going to talk about our Red Sox for a little bit. 6 and 10 on the season. Now, I looked it up, Linda.
Yes.
Because we have a schedule here at the station of last year's schedule. And the Red Sox, and I'm going to sound like an old guy now. Ready? The Red Sox played the start time for last year's games at Fenway Park were at 7:10. Why are they starting at 7:30 this year when there's no fans? And this is where the old part comes in. Last night's game, it was 10:30. It was 3 hours into the game. The Red Sox were in the 6th inning. And I watch a lot of baseball, and going by the averages, if I stay up to watch the rest of the game, the next 3 innings are going to take at least an hour. I said now it's going to be 11:30, and I have to I got to make a decision. Do I stay up for the whole thing and be disappointed, or do I go to bed now, get an extra hour of sleep, and be disappointed in the morning?
That was my choice.
That was my choice too, and I feel so old when I say that. Look at the time; it's 10:30. I mean, you can't stay up past this.
Yeah. Oh, that was definitely my choice.
But I still don't have a reason why they are starting the games at 7:30. I
Could we
don't.
call someone and ask them that?
I don't know who to call unless you call
I don't
the
know.
Red Sox
Who-
and say.
who do you call?
Or is it Nesson that's deciding this?
Ghostbusters.
Why
Ghostbusters.
are you starting the games at 7:30 when they last just as long as they did last year?
Yeah.
3-hour games. They keep saying we're trying to speed up the game, and they're not.
They're not.
It's not
no.
going. It's not going any faster.
Well,
Last night's game was actually their longest game.
yeah. I thought at the beginning, I thought they were going to do it, but
What,
then
speed up the game?
No, win.
Oh.
But what they had 4 pitches by the fourth inning, the end of the fourth inning. They
Yeah, that was the plan last night. Okay, you're going to pitch the. It's like Little League.
But
You're gonna
but I
pitch the
gotta
first,
tell
you're
you,
gonna pitch
that
the
kinda
second, you're gonna pitch
slows
the
down-
third.
That slows down the game too, because they
It
can throw
does.
the,
Well,
yeah.
you would think it wouldn't. Well, you have plenty of time to go out there and warm up. You know you're coming in, so go.
Yeah, I know, but still, don't they still get those pitches off?
Yeah.
When the new one comes in. Yeah, I said good night.
And I can't. And I think the game was tied at that point. Sox may have
It
tied it
was
up, and it was
tied, but
5 to 5.
Then when you blinked, they were ahead. Then it was 5-4, and I'm like, this isn't going well at all.
And even my daughter said, "What do you mean you're going to sleep?
Yeah,
The game's
yeah.
not over." I go,
Yeah, that's okay.
"But it's the 6th inning," and I go,
Yeah.
I would have to invest another hour,
Yeah.
another 60 minutes to see how this game turns out, and then it's going to be look. And then what time's it going to be? 11:30.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
Well, that's it. So,
And you almost kind of know the ending now.
well, you do, and
It's not going to end well. It's like
for the most part, it doesn't end well. And
no, it hasn't ended well for a while.
the only upshot to the whole thing, Linda, is the first 2 teams of each division make it to the playoffs.
Yeah,
So
well,
they're last I think they're only 2 games out of the last playoff spot.
Well, didn't you just say their record is 6-10?
Yes.
What was their record last year for the first 16 games? Couldn't have been much better than that.
I don't know.
If it was even better than that, because they started out of the gate
Yes,
like
and they fell.
crap.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
They were 2-12, I think, at one point.
they might have been. But last year the games were 162 and not 60. We can't afford to
Well-
go 6-10 in a 60-game season.
True, but I'm just going for the same time
Yeah.
period of
Yeah.
game to game. They're not any worse than
Worse.
last year. I mean, they were pretty awful last year.
At the beginning.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were. They were,
They
yeah.
had time to turn it around, but there's no time to turn it around.
No.
This year, so I don't know. So I wish the games would start at 7. That's my whole point to this thing. I'll go back to 7:10. I don't know why 7:10, but it would be. I'm telling you that 20 minutes would be a huge difference.
I think you should call Dennis Eckersley. He'll tell you exactly why.
There
Well,
you
I-
go.
well,
He doesn't mince
Mess around.
words.
You're right.
No,
I will send
Yeah.
him a tweet
Would you? Yes.
and see if I can get him.
Tell them that we do not like that time. Make sure he knows that.
Okay. This
Well,
is-
I'm sure he's got nothing to do at the time because it's
I think
Major
it's
League
television,
Baseball.
isn't
But
it?
I'm
Well,
sure
he's
he
got-
knows why.
maybe
Yeah.
he does, and maybe
Yeah.
it's. I'm sure it's a Nesson thing, and that's what we want to. That's what we want to do. And
Yeah.
Nesson and the Red Sox, they kind of sort of own each other, and
Yeah.
so that's
Yeah.
what we're going with. And Major League Baseball said, "Bro, hey, whatever you want to do, it doesn't really bother us. Whatever you want to play." So, okay. So that's just the latest, and I haven't got a real answer on that. So maybe
There you go.
I'll get one. Why do the games start at 7:30? If anyone knows why they've decided the 7:30 start, I don't know. Anyway, let's see. Why, Ed?
To avoid going up against Jeopardy. Wake up.
No, Jeopardy
There
starts
you
at 7. Jeopardy starts at 7:30.
7:30. Yeah, Jeopardy starts
It's
at
Wheel of
7:30.
Wheel of
Fortune's at
Fortune at
7
7. Yes.
You don't want to go up against Vanna White.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll watch Vanna
She's
White
on at
before the Red
7
Sox
now.
anytime.
Yeah. Yeah.
In the dark days of the New York Mets, Johnny Carson one night suggested that they should just play the games backwards, and fans would have the satisfaction of each game ending in a scoreless tie.
I don't know if there's going to be too much satisfaction there, but all right. And another subject, Ed.
Yes,
let
sir.
me ask you this one. Why hasn't Joe Biden announced who his running mate's going to be? Because I thought today is August 11th. I thought he said at some point in the past, I will announce who my VP candidate is first week in August. First
Right.
full week in August. It's come and gone.
That was supposed to be last week that he announced it.
Right,
Yeah.
and it hasn't happened.
No, I
No.
think it's going to be this week.
Well,
Yeah.
Well, you know,
obviously now it has to be this week, or he's just going to keep pushing it off.
I don't think he's going to wait till the convention, but I think it'll probably be this week. But he's being pressured.
You
He's being
betcha he is.
pressured.
I know he is.
You know,
You betcha
You know,
he is.
before it was take a woman of color into consideration, and now it better be
It
a
better
woman
be.
of color.
Or you're going to lose black votes. Yeah.
Yeah,
right, we're not gonna vote
you know,
for it.
so
Yeah.
you know,
Now
he's-
what do you do?
You know, he's got probably a lot of hard thinking to do.
Now,
Yeah.
I also saw it yesterday that Kamala Harris took her name. What did she do? She's not following. Someone reported this that she's not following Joe Biden on Twitter anymore.
Uh-huh.
Oh,
I'm
because
like,
he must have said, I'm not going to pick you. I think it's going to be that Rice gal.
It might be, and people will keep. And another thing I read yesterday, you know, they're telling Harris, go to Joe Biden and say, I don't want to be the VP.
Right.
Please make me the Attorney General. And I'll drop, you know, and I'll pick someone else like Susan Rice. And,
Susan Rice,
and
that's
then,
a good name,
and
yeah.
as long as you pick me for AG
Yeah.
when you win, and that'll satisfy Black Lives Matter because Susan Rice.
Yeah,
is,
because they
is
actually
black.
came out and said if you don't pick a woman of color, you're going to lose black votes.
Yeah.
Yeah, they said, well,
Now, will you think that'll happen?
What?
Will he lose black votes if he doesn't pick a woman of color?
Oh, I'm sure he would lose some.
I think he will. I think he
no
will.
question.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Okay.
think he will. Because he's been spouting off about how connected he is, and except when he's insulting them a little bit, but...
A little. He really put his foot in his mouth last
well,
week.
I was being polite.
Oh, okay.
But, yeah, I was being polite. But, yeah, you know, I've said it from the beginning. He must... That's his chance. He's got to pick a woman of color.
Yeah. Okay. Well, they're still kicking around Elizabeth Warren's name.
I know she's
And-
still in there somehow.
Well, she's got a little
somewhere in
bit
the
of
mix.
Native American, so...
Yeah, very, very little. I don't think that's going to fly.
I
with-
don't
with
think
the,
that's going to
with the
fly.
Black Lives
no,
Matter people.
That's not going to fly. No, that's not going to fly at all.
All right, we got to get a second message from the Carew Investment Group, so let's turn it back over to Ed Carew. Then we'll take a break on the Coffee and program. Ed,
Okay, thanks again, Joe. Good morning again, everyone. This is Ed Carew of the Carew Investment Group with some simple advice about investing. The truth is, there is no simple advice about investing. The old days of financial uptrends and downtrends lasting for days and weeks and months are long gone. Sometimes trends last only part of a day before changing direction. And investing is not an activity for those who can't take the time to study each twist and turn for the opportunity that it truly presents. Since 1987, I've seen them all, and I'll invest for you the same way I invest for myself, carefully, very carefully. And it won't cost you a nickel to talk with me about this. So give me a call, Ed Carew, at 765-8880, and we're right here in Woonsocket. Securities are offered through Bolton Global Capital, member FINRA and SIPC, and advisory services offered through Bolton Global Asset Management, a registered investment advisor.
thanks, Ed. And the Coffee and program will continue. Comments and questions can be called in at 766-1240 or email them in to me, coffee@wonsocketradio.com.
There are so many great reasons to visit Missy's Family Restaurant. Here are the top 3. 1 is a great breakfast. Missy's will fill you up and get you ready for the day. 2 is a great lunch. Missy's is just the place to go for an affordable, tasty lunch. 3 is great portions. At Missy's, you'll love their big portions and big taste. Missy's Family Restaurant is open 7 days a week from 7 a.m. to 2 p.m. Judy and the staff welcome you, and remember, please wear a face covering when entering Missy's Family Restaurant, 801 Clinton Street, Woonsocket. So you're remodeling your home, and you want to find just the right flooring. So off you go to DRL Carpet. Why? Because they have the best selection and prices in Rhode Island and Massachusetts. That means you don't have to wait. Plus, it means you can get it installed now. So first you get the best price, next you get the best service, and you get the best selection. Whether you're looking for carpet, tile, hardwood floors, the place to shop is DRL Carpet, 27 Veterans Way, Woonsocket, next to World War II Veterans Memorial Park. DRL Carpet reminds you there's a big difference between getting the job done and getting the job done right. DRL carpet of Woonsocket. The Coffee and Panel is enjoying coffee from Down East Coffee in Pawtucket. They're a 62-year-old family business that roasts all its coffee right here in Rhode Island. Founded originally as Excellent Coffee Company, they provide great coffee to food service establishments throughout New England.
ON Worldwide.
It is Coffee In here on ON, AM, and FM. This is Joe Callahan here with Ed Crew and John Martin from AARP. Linda Tebow's on the telephone as well. So, Russia says they have a cure.
Mm-hmm.
Did you hear? John, did you hear?
I heard.
I heard.
Yes. Linda's heard. Ed's heard. I've heard.
Market.
Did the stock market hear?
Yeah.
Is it affecting it in any way?
It moved the futures about 100 points more than it was. It was about 150 points higher up this morning, the futures.
Okay.
And then once that came out, it went up about another 100 points.
So, are they telling the truth? Who
knows?
I know. I mean, how can you tell?
I don't believe him.
Okay, Linda says no. John, what do you think?
You know, I think it is one of the questions that's asked about almost everything we hear today, and that's creating a very different culture for conversation about things like this. It really is. It's scary.
Yeah. Now, Ed was telling me that this drug, if it was over here in the United States, would be in the phase 1 testing.
Yeah, it would be
That's
phase
right.
1 clinical trials. They've only used it on between 70 and
Right.
100 people.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's phase 1.
Yeah.
Hasn't been around long enough to really say if
Right.
it's safe or effective.
Mm-hmm.
So
He claims his daughter got one of the first doses.
yes, he did say
Putin
that.
said that,
He
yeah.
did claim that,
Putin
but
said
you know.
that, yeah. But it wouldn't surprise me that he would sacrifice his daughter to come
Bingo!
out.
I was thinking the same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, let's face it, Putin has got problems in Russia.
Okay.
Yeah, he
And
does.
so he's trying to,
Yeah.
trying to appease the crowd, so to speak.
Right.
And Ed, you were telling me that some drug companies here in the States, they're already in phase 2 of.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so
we
they're
got a
already
lot of
ahead
them. We got a lot of them in phase 2. Some of them are
Right.
ready for phase 3.
Okay.
We've got drugs that are a lot ahead of this particular drug, whatever. It's called Sputnik 5, which
Yeah.
makes
That's
me
clever,
really.
huh?
Yeah, that really.
Fuck.
Wow.
Sputnik 5. Yeah, I think I'll go for my Sputnik 5 shot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
And so this is
It was invented or found by the Gamaleya Institute in Russia.
Mm-hmm.
But
and it's a 2-shot process.
it's a 2-shot process.
So we'll get one now, get one in a couple of days.
Yeah, and I don't know if it's like a booster or if you're
Yeah.
going to take one today and another one in
a week?
or 3 weeks or whatever it is.
Yeah.
But it hasn't been around, hasn't been proven to be effective, and hasn't been proven to be safe.
Mm-hmm.
And the last thing that we would want to do here in the United States is come out with something that, first of all, isn't safe, and secondly, isn't effective. We get enough people in this country who won't get a vaccine for something else, like the flu or other things.
Well, the measles.
The measles, because they don't think it's safe or
Yeah.
they don't think it's effective. Well, if you come out with something prematurely that is one, lacks in one or the other, you're going to turn off a whole generation of people that'll never want to get a vaccine because they just won't trust the system.
Right.
Okay. Well, are people here in the States, will they be studying what's going to happen with what's going on
There
in
has
Russia?
been no research whatsoever that has come out other than them making the statement, that they have it.
That
There's
Sputnik
been no
5,
research that has been put out by any, whoever
medicinal,
puts right.
pharmaceutical company?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you think anyone will go over there to take a look at the results or get a hold of whatever this drug is and bring it back and say, what's in this?
I would say no.
No? Okay.
Would they be allowed to do
I
such a
wouldn't think
thing?
he'd allow that anyways, quite frank. He wouldn't allow it anyways, but...
Probably not.
His the words that come out of his mouth, I don't think are genuine usually. He does like to make himself look good.
I think it looks fabulous on his horse.
Doesn't he, though, with the shirt off?
Shirtless,
Yeah, right.
riding around.
I could do that.
Well, we'll see if what happens over there. I'm sure Russia's on the places where Americans can't fly to list. It's mostly all of
Right,
Europe
exactly.
anyway, so I don't think.
Now, would you want to, right? Yeah.
No. I had a teacher when I was in the 6th grade. Her and her husband, she said, took a trip to Russia. They said it was, and this was height of Cold War stuff. And she thought St. Petersburg was beautiful, and she thought Moscow was beautiful, and but the people were very apprehensive of Americans because it's what they were told. We were the bad guys. So okay, they're coming here. And they were always told Americans have a lot of money, so they like to go different places. So they'll come here as tourists, but don't tell them anything.
Yeah.
And answer that. Be careful on what questions you answer, and just be leery of them.
But take their money.
But take their money. She always told us the teacher said the service industry over there in Russia was lousy, because there's no incentive to do better. You always had a job, but there was no way you were getting fired from whatever you did. So they would go out to restaurants, but restaurants it would be a 3 to 4 hour affair because they're just so slow in bringing you food because they just didn't care. I'm sure it's changed now, but back then, not so much. So she was never followed. I don't think she ever said that. The KGB following the Americans around. All right, back closer to home here in Rhode Island. A shame down there in Newport. 25-year-old man died jumping off the rocks in Newport. It doesn't say exactly where he was. I don't know if it was on part of the cliff walk or not. Just that he jumped off the rocks at a shoreline point in Newport, went under. And then when he was trying to climb back up, got knocked back into the water by another wave, and which knocked him out. It looks like it knocked him out. And then they had to go rescue him. He was brought to Newport Hospital, where he was pronounced dead. The Department of Environmental Management said jumping and diving are prohibited in the area and where he jumped, and they called this incident tragic. They are still investigating what was going on there. I don't know if he was there with a group of friends or not, but that's not one of the things I ever wanted to do, was jump off the rocks at Newport and into the ocean. Just didn't seem like fun. I was a big let's wade into the ocean off the beach where the sand is nice and soft. I was worried. I was worried that I would slip, and I was also worried I don't know what's underneath the water. You can't see the rocks under the water. What you don't know what you're crashing into. So I think I'm going to stop from doing that now. Linda.
Yes.
This whole COVID-19 thing, how much does it remind you of the polio breakout from years ago?
Yes.
Do you see a lot of similarities?
Yes, a lot of similarities, yeah.
Okay.
I remember, I was just a kid, I remember, but, the difference was that it was localized,
What do you
It
mean
wasn't
localized?
Well, it wasn't all over the world. We didn't get
true.
this whole
Yeah.
pandemic thing, but it was. And I remember, don't go swimming. Every town had their little swimming holes and everything, like in Manville and North Smithfield. Don't go in the water, that kind of thing. And it was scary. It was scary times. I remember when the Salk vaccine first came out.
Yeah.
And that was a vaccine that you didn't just get one, by the way, folks. You got it was a series of inoculations that we got to be totally immune. But it was scary times, seeing all the the pictures of the iron lungs and the kids dying and everything. It was scary times.
But they didn't close schools, though, did they?
No, they didn't. Okay. No, we went to school. And we didn't wear masks. Nobody said wear masks, or there wasn't a big thing about wash your hands. But it was scary times.
It wasn't politicized. It wasn't politicized. Not at least.
No, it wasn't. Well, first of all, we didn't have. There was no.
Yeah.
You had to wait for it to get in the paper, or it might be on radio and television maybe, but it wasn't like it is today. But it was very, very scary, you know, and children were, getting paralyzed. They were dying. It was scary times.
Okay.
But But, you know, back to the vaccine, it wasn't just one shot, because I remember crying a lot.
How long?
And they did the inoculations in schools.
Right.
That's where we did them, you know, and all the crying kids lined up, and I was one of them.
How long did it take for them to come up with the polio vaccine, from the time they started researching it to the time they came out with it?
I'm trying to
Was it
remember.
within a year?
Oh, yeah. I mean, it didn't happen overnight.
Well, right.
It didn't happen overnight for sure, and that's when we lost. You know, I, you know, you're not from this neck of the woods, but a young pediatrician, Dr. Harry Hallowell, he was treating a lot of these kids with polio when he contracted the disease himself and died. He was young.
He died of polio?
Family. Yeah, he did. He was how old?
Okay.
Well, because it affected not only your lungs.
Yeah.
You know, all of your muscles, but it was and he became very sick. But he had treated a lot of kids. He was a young man too. I don't even think he was in his 40s.
Wow.
And he left a young family. That's why we have a school that's been named after him for the longest time. But it was not good times. I mean, I remember being, I remember the parents being afraid, you know,
Yeah.
but I mean, it was, you know, it was really drummed into us because it was like, especially in the summertime and people were going to pools. Well, we didn't have too many public pools then, but, you know, where you swam, and that's where kids were close together. And I don't know if they thought it was in the water or transmitted through the water. I don't remember the exact details of that, but it was, you can't go swimming, you know, you can't go there.
All right. No, it's kind of like
It
today.
was such a different time, though. We were the leaders of the free world. This was the beginning of the baby boom. This was what we later called the greatest generation. And they had the fortitude to face this. And I think that's one of the scariest things about the time we live in now. Not to criticize any person or any party. It's just that we seemed more invulnerable, and there was a greater faith in the direction that the country would head, even in a situation like a polio epidemic. It was very, very different then.
Okay, Ed?
I was going to ask Linda, do I recall correctly that we used to take the part of that polio vaccine at some point in a sugar cube?
Yes. I wasn't part of that. Well, you know, I'm older than you, but yes, by the time it was you, it was under the tongue as sugar cube. Yes.
Okay.
Was that
that's
just
how
to
they
hide
did.
how terrible the taste was?
Well, no, that's so that you didn't have all the screaming kids getting shot.
Oh, all right.
Inoculations.
Hey,
Yes.
sugar for the
No,
kids.
I mean they made it easier. But I remember when because I'm 76, I was born in 44, so that I got. And my brother and my sister, we got the inoculations. Then they did the sugar. Yes, they did.
All right.
I
did.
thought I remembered that.
Yes. But when it got to that, I don't think it was. Was it just one? Because I know we had a series with the inoculations.
You just take one
I
sugar
don't
cube?
remember. I do remember the sugar cube and polio, and that was supposed to be it, but I don't know if it was one or a series.
Yeah, because many of the vaccines that, as a nurse, many of the vaccines that we used to give and that even I gave, I don't know, do you remember the anthrax scare that we used to have, that we had? It was in the 90s.
Mm-hmm.
I was with the visiting nurses then. It was 95-ish, I think, something like that. And there was an anthrax scare. People were getting envelopes.
Yes,
With
the white powder.
White powder.
Oh, I
do you
remember
remember
that,
that? Remember that. And so because I was with Woonsocket visiting nurses, and we used to do immunizations, and there was a mill where they worked on woolen, the Angora, from goats and everything. And we went and immunized all the employees for anthrax.
Wow.
And it was a series. That's why I'm going back to the series thing.
Mm-hmm.
And it was not just one. I think it was a series of 3 things that we had to give. And even some of the the hepatitis vaccines were a series. So, I think when they're talking about some of the newest vaccines, we might see, because you have to build up that titer.
Yeah.
And you can't do it all at once, so to build up the immunity.
All right. We're going to take a break here in the Coffee In program. It's time for a look at the forecast, which is being sponsored by Staples Stores. Today, sunny and hot. High will be near 94. Tonight, increasing clouds, low of 74. Wednesday's weather mostly cloudy, chance of showers and thunderstorms in the afternoon. High will be near 89. Wednesday night, mostly cloudy, chance of showers and thunderstorms, and a low temperature around 70. Thursday, partly sunny, high near 89. Friday, partly sunny, and a high near 86. Currently outside the Navigant Credit Union broadcast studio at the corner of Park Avenue and Kennedy Street. We have sunny skies, and it's hot. We have 84 degrees. Staples helps your business go big with everything you need at amazing prices. From office essentials like paper and ink to health essentials like masks and sanitizer. Save big at Staples. Sourdough pizza tasting class is coming to the Honey Shop. They will start class with a sourdough pizza tasting, and then you'll make your own sourdough. Everyone will get dough to proof and bake at home. The Honey Shop's secret recipe will be shared, and each person will get their own jar of sourdough starter. The starter will make fresh bread until eternity if given good care. Care instructions provided in class. This is a sugar-free, no preservative, easily digestible, and all-natural bread. This sourdough pizza tasting class is at the Honey Shop, 1300 Park Avenue, Woonsocket, on Sunday, September 13th at 11 a.m. Go to the Honey Shop's Facebook page for ticket information. If you love food, you'll love the Honey Shop. Local businesses are the key to success in our community. That's why Leo at Switzer Automotive of Woonsocket is a growing business, and Leo and his staff have been giving their expert mechanical services for many years. Switzer knows how important car maintenance is, and their quality service is always guaranteed. Trust the experts at Switzer. Remember, they provide complete foreign and domestic car and truck repairs. Client confidence is their most valuable product. Switzer Automotive, 309 Olo Street, Woonsocket. We salute you for your continuing success in our community.
Hi, this is Casey Kasem. We've been counting down the hits together since the days of cool shades, hot pants, and tie-dye shirts. I hope you can join me this weekend when I recount the hits from 40 to number 1, just the way I did back then. It's American Top 40 the 70s right here.
Join Casey counting them down this Saturday afternoon at 1 p.m. right here on ON AM and FM, sponsored by Paul Vanas and Associates Real Estate in Lincoln.
It is Coffee In on ON AM and FM. This is Joe Callahan here with Ed Carew and Linda Tebow and John Martin from AARP. And John, time for first message from AARP.
Talk about the election. This is a critical election, and that's why AARP is fighting to protect 50-plus voters on the issues that matter, issues such as Social Security and Medicare and lowering prescription drug prices. We've heard from our members that to win, candidates must talk about the issues that matter to 50-plus voters, including how to vote safely from home or in person. And our polling shows that our members and 50-plus voters are concerned about how to vote safely because of the pandemic. You can learn more about that at aarp.org/RI. And a reminder, August 18th is the deadline to request a mail ballot in Rhode Island. We're working hard to make sure voters can vote safely and know their voting options. And we're speaking up to candidates to remind them that 50-plus voters are watching. Throughout the election, AARP will demand action from candidates to make sure that they talk about protecting Social Security and Medicare and other issues voters 50-plus care about. So again, learn more at www.aarp.org/RI.
Those elections are going to come up quick here in Rhode Island and in Mass. Rhode Island, Mass is September 1st, is it not, Ed?
Don't know.
That's the primary.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Primary.
Okay.
Yeah, and Rhode Island's primary is September 8th, so they're coming quick.
Yep.
That's why the sign. You haven't seen them going up in Mass, Ed? The Markey and Kennedy signs?
No,
They still haven't gone up
I
in
still haven't
Middleborough?
seen any in Middleborough. No,
No. Is there an ordinance against political signs in
No.
your town?
no.
Okay. All right. I just see a lot in my town. It's if I'm going just by signs, it's really split 50-50.
There was a
Between
tough
Markey and Kennedy.
tough Kennedy ad during Red Sox baseball last night, I noticed.
Is there?
Yeah.
Is he criticizing Ed Markey or is he
His
just going after Trump?
He had the 6th lowest attendance record in
Yeah,
Congress.
I saw that one.
Ooh.
Yeah. Missed
All right.
50% of the votes.
Did
yeah.
he? All right.
It's getting nasty now.
Yeah, when they start
Yeah.
attacking attendance.
Yeah.
Okay. We did have a note that was called in, and 766-1240, and the caller wants to know if anyone remembers the years ago when they gave sugar pills at the Armory in Woonsocket on South Main Street, and what were they for?
Probably for polio.
Would they tell you just to line up and come get your polio vaccine in your sugar cube, even for adults?
Well,
I don't remember this. So.
Well, you know what, Joe? Most of the vaccines were targeting children, not adults.
Well, you figured they would give them to them in school, right, Ed? Did
well,
you get
that's
your
why they
sugar
gave
cube
it in
school?
Yeah, that's why they gave it in school.
Well, the caller wanted to know why they were giving them out at the Armory on South Main Street.
I mean, unless it could have been for the kids there, too, you know.
Oh, maybe kids in that neighborhood.
It could have been for the kids in that neck of the woods. But, you know, mostly... Well, I mean, I was a kid then, too. My mother and father didn't get it. You know, they were targeting the children because it was the kids that were getting it, you know. Can I tell a Russian story, a Putin story? Okay. Well, you know how you were saying Putin and somebody went there. Well, you remember I told you, maybe you don't, but, you know, I'm a figure skater, and one time my coach wasn't there, so I had Yulia, the Russian coach. She was the national champion. Dad is still in Russia. And, you know, she was, you know, believing and knowing, you know, I got to stockpile some stuff because it's a pandemic. And so she said to her dad on the phone, you know, Dad, maybe you should, you know, start getting some stuff in, some, you know, pantry stable kind of food and stuff like that. He said, oh no. He said, oh no. Putin say we don't have that. We have no virus here. We're safe. We're okay. So
wow.
I don't believe. Yeah. And she's like, but Dad, no. Putin say he take care of us. So I don't believe him.
I wonder when Putin changed his tune. Okay, well, the virus is here.
Exactly. No, exactly. But you know but here's a poor old gent.
Yeah.
Who was, well, I hate to say brainwashed, but you know that's how he grew up.
Yep.
Believing what Putin say. So anyway,
they wouldn't lie to us. So.
Well, no, of course not, because he cares about us, you know. So that's my Putin story.
All right, good Putin story. All right, down in Westerly, some people see things you're not supposed to do. Down in Westerly, some people removed a piping plover chick from its nest.
Ooh. Not nice.
And the chick later died.
Ooh.
And they say the vacationers from Massachusetts, when they noticed the bird was not doing well, they took it to a wildlife rehabilitator. Doesn't say where, and but it eventually died. Now, everybody, the USFWS, I'm going to say United States
Wildlife Federation, maybe?
FWS. It's got to be wildlife something.
Yeah.
In there. Reminding people, you do not disturb or interfere with plovers or any animals.
Any animal, right?
that you may look. Oh, they're orphaned. The parents have died. Well, you don't know that.
Yeah.
Because it's usually not the case. The parents are off getting food, and they've left the chick or the small animal somewhere safe. And I just saw that maybe a month or so ago.
Wow.
It came out in Massachusetts. If you find a fawn near your house, leave it alone.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
The mother is off finding food, and will be back.
Yeah.
9 times out of 10, probably 99 out of 100.
Yeah.
The mother will be back to take care of it. Leave it alone.
There are a lot of young deer around this year.
Yeah.
There were 5
than
in my
usual?
yard just the other day.
Wow.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
5 of them.
Oh.
And I remember being taught in school, like if you like climbed a tree and found a nest, or a bird fell out of the nest, and if you picked it up and like put it back in the nest, the mother bird would come along and peck the bird to death.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because it had been touched by a human.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And now
it's
no good anymore, so they would just kill it.
Yeah.
So there's our public service announcement for the day.
Yeah, leave them alone.
Especially piping plovers, which is an endangered species.
Yes, it is. Yeah.
You just don't touch the animals. Just leave them alone. And so no word on whether or not these people from Mass face any fines or anything like that.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe they thought obviously they thought they were doing a good deed.
Well, yeah.
And they'll probably just say, please, don't do that ever again. Leave the birds in their nests. Even if they look like they're hungry, and they want.
Well,
food,
they're always hungry.
Yeah. You're not really going to be helping them. So, Ed, your community, you're in first place. Congratulations! Oh, you came in first.
For what?
For Triple E.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yes.
First community in Massachusetts to get Triple E was Middleborough. Woohoo!
Middleborough, yeah.
Congratulations.
People's Republic of Middleborough.
Now, are you still? Last week you mentioned you don't see any mosquitoes.
I still haven't seen any.
You still haven't.
I spent an hour and a half at dusk the other night, sitting outside,
that's when they'd be out.
reading a book. An hour and a half. Did not get accosted by any mosquitoes.
None, huh?
Not a one.
Wow.
Nope.
You're doing something right, Ed. So, but you're at the high level. Now, has Middleborough, have they been spraying?
No, there's supposedly the state. Middleborough doesn't spray. It's not the towns. It's the state that sprays.
Okay.
And on the news, they said that they were going to start spraying Middleborough, Carver, Plimpton, Kingston this week.
That area.
4 nights this week. But they usually tell you in advance so that you'll cover the water for your animals outside and different things, shut the doors to the barn and stuff. And we haven't gotten that phone call. We usually get the call from the emergency management system.
Okay. But it's odd because your community is one of 8 that are in the higher critical risk area.
I know.
And yet you don't see any.
No, it's just because of those birds and bats.
Birds and bats are taken care of.
Right, they do a good job.
All right. Yeah. Well, it looks like there will not be any college football this year. Did you hear that? All that talk yesterday?
Yeah.
I did.
Big Ten and SEC and ACC, they're all saying, "Hey, we're not going to play this year because of the pandemic." So, you know how much money that's lost?
Yeah.
Big time college football is a lot of money.
Yeah.
Although the NFL, they're all excited. If college football isn't playing on Saturday, they're going to move some of their games to Saturday. Just so we get more TV audience. Actually, pretty smart of them.
Yeah.
That they're going to move everything over. So at least that's what Goodell says they're going to do. If the NFL plays this year. Still a question.
Yeah, you got to have enough people to put on a team.
Right.
Quality
exactly.
people.
Yeah, that's true. So, and I keep looking up the road at Foxborough, and they said they're gonna allow like 20% of people to come to the games.
Yeah, and free parking, isn't it?
Yes. You know how much parking was?
That's a lot.
It was at least $50 to park.
Yeah.
It is $50. Yeah.
But now they're going to allow free parking for the 20% that's coming. So quick, Ed, 20% of 60,000.
12,000.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So 12,000 at Gillette. So it'll still look kind of empty. But
it'll look empty, definitely.
Yeah, okay.
Spread them around and things.
They'll have to be spread around, right?
Put a lot of cardboard cutouts here, there, and everywhere.
All right. A lot of cardboard cutouts, yeah.
Between the real people.
I wonder if they'll actually put cardboard cutouts in the sections where the people aren't.
I don't know.
It's funny. They put those cardboard cutouts out on the Green Monster. No one's been hit yet. All the home runs are either going over or they're missing them. I'm like, I thought for sure we'd be seeing them get knocked around. But
Yeah, it's like going to the carnival. You throw the ball to knock down those things. You never hit them.
You can't hit that cat.
No way.
You always keep hitting the fur.
Yeah.
I saw a story that the players did a nice thing. They made sure that there was a Dustin Pedroia in the stands.
I saw that with his kids.
And their pictures taken with him.
Yeah, they were like near the dugout. And they put up a Dustin Pedroia picture, and he wasn't smiling. He never smiles.
He never smiles.
So it looked like he was playing.
Yeah.
All right, let's take another break here in the Coffee and program. So, John, time for a second message from AARP.
I want to talk about the census, Joe.
Okay.
Annually, Rhode Island receives, get ready for this, $3.8 billion that's distributed through 53 federal programs, but that money is guided by census data.
Okay.
That is why the 2020 census is so important to Rhode Island. An AARP survey of adults shows that 3 out of 4 adults age 50 and older wish to stay in their homes and communities as they age. Some of these programs funded, again, guided by census data, address this issue in the Ocean State. It determines where parks, hospitals, roads are built. Business owners rely on census data to open new stores, restaurants, and offices, hopefully soon. The 2020 census will determine funds for housing programs, transit grants, and community service programs. And I don't know if we've talked about this before, if you have on the air, Joe. At stake in this census in Rhode Island is a congressional seat.
That's true. Yeah.
If an undercount, we could lose one of our two representatives in Congress. So it is a big deal. The census people are now going door to door. If you haven't filled out the census you received in the mail, or you haven't gone online to report who's living in your household, open the door to the census taker. They are well identified. There's a lot of information in terms of security, both about your data and about your personal security when someone knocks, what to expect. But it is important. Every 10 years, the census determines how many seats Rhode Island has in the House of Representatives. And this is a big deal because we have senior members, and we would lose one of the two who have rather powerful positions on key committees. So this is a big deal for Rhode Island. So please, it's very important to all Rhode Islanders to take the 2020 census.
All right, John, thank you. And just to let you know, I have filled out my census.
Me too.
Ed?
Long time ago.
All right.
Good. Okay, we're all good.
We're all up to date here. Excellent. But if you're not, fill it out. All right. More Coffee Ants coming your way. Please stay tuned.
I'm here with Kara Benjamin of the Benjamin Insurance Agency. Kara, what's most important to you as a business owner?
The most important thing to me as a business owner is to be there for my customers in the moment of truth. It's not just writing the policy and you're done. It's about being there for my customers when there's an accident, a fire, or even a death. Helping them get through tough moments in life. That's my job as an agent.
You're in good hands with Allstate and Kara and Celeste Benjamin of the Benjamin Insurance Agency, 125 Eddie Dowling Highway, across from Dowling Village in North Smithfield, 765-5000.
Our business is truly a referral business, and we have built it based on our premier service level and commitment to what we do. If you are looking for personalized service with people who care, that would be us.
K-Fin Oil is always ready to serve you regardless of the size or scope of your project or needs. Whether it's heating or air conditioning, their personal service begins with your initial phone call and continues right to your home by their cordial and experienced technicians. They make your experience a pleasure, not a nightmare, by giving you correct information and explanations. Make your choice, K-Fin Oil, servicing oil and gas systems as well as hot water tanks. K-Fin Oil, 765-3881.
Hi, I'm Greg Bell, the host of When Radio Was.
I'm Mortimer. Bill. Is that you under that blindfold?
Bill, with this thing on, I can't see who I am.
No, I imagine not. Can't you see anything at all under that blindfold?
On a clear day, I can see the blindfold.
You can?
Yeah.
When Radio Was, shows from the past for today's imaginations.
When Radio Was airs Monday through Friday, right here on ON 1240 Radio at 11 a.m. and 11 p.m.
And it's Coffee Ant here on ON Radio. Thanks for joining us. This is Joe Callahan here with Ed Crew and John Martin and Linda Tebow. And Linda.
Yes.
Guess what?
What?
You still have time.
For what?
to get your
Oh, good, you're talking. I'm so happy.
To get your first tattoo.
Oh, I don't think so.
No, well, listen to this story.
All right, I will.
A woman in Michigan celebrated her birthday by doing something she's never done before. Dorothy Pollock turned 103.
All right.
See, this is what I'm saying. You still have time.
Okay, okay.
She turned 103 last month, and she decided to mark the occasion by getting her first tattoo.
Okay.
You don't want to do this, huh?
Well, no, if I live to 103, I might.
Okay.
Well, although, the only tattoo I think I would ever have considered, because, I kind of I like athletes, and, if I ever were fortunate enough to be good enough to go to the Olympics, I would get the rings. That's it.
Oh, the Olympic rings? Okay.
Yeah, the rings, because I think that's very, very, very significant, and that's the only thing I would consider.
Okay.
But I'm glad to know, hey, if I get to be 103, Joe, I'll call you.
Okay. just to say hi.
Still calling in on Tuesday morning.
Nothing wrong with that.
I always think of these young women, especially who get tattooed in their early 20s. And like when they're 70 or 80, no matter what it was, it's going to look like a map of South America.
Yes, you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. Yeah.
So according to this woman's granddaughter, and this happens, with a lot of people in nursing homes, because they basically got locked into their nursing homes and couldn't leave because of the pandemic.
Yeah.
They felt like they were in prison, so it was kind of a spur-of-the-moment thing on her birthday when she was finally able to leave her nursing home. So this woman got a tattoo last Friday, and she tells the news that the tattoo, she got a frog. A frog tattooed on her arm.
So she could jump over the walls.
Yes.
And leave, yes.
It doesn't say how big the frog is.
Yeah.
It doesn't say where on her arm it is, like her wrist or inside the arm or outside the arm. But I'm sure the tattoo artist has never had a 103-year-old woman
right.
in the chair and say it's going to hurt a little bit,
Wow.
But 103.
Wow.
I'm impressed.
God bless her. No, I am too. I am too.
I want to mention one more thing. A former Coffee Ann panelist has passed away.
Who?
Did you know Phil Auger?
Yes.
Of Augier's Menswear?
Yes.
Yes. He passed away on August 6th.
Oh.
He was 90 years old and in the St. Antoine residence. He took over the shop from his father on Main Street in Woonsocket and ran Augier's Menswear until the business closed in 1989.
Oh.
And he appeared for many years as a weekly guest and advertiser and panelist on Coffee Ann up until his retirement. So,
rest in peace.
yes, this is the passing of Phil Auger. Very nice guy.
How many panelists would you say the show has had over the years?
That's a tough question, John, because the show goes back to 1946. So, over 100. I would have to say over 100.
I would think more than that.
Well, I would say so, but I'm being conservative on this.
Over 60 years.
Yeah. Well, we had a lot of repeats. Ed, you've been here since 1947, so.
I've been here forever. Not forever, but for a long time.
Just kidding, Ed. All right. And let's see what else is going on. Nothing fun. Oh, yeah. We're not the only countries having problems with protesters. Have you seen the news? Belarus.
Yes.
Having real issues. They just had a presidential campaign, and they're saying the one that won by 90% of the vote, roughly.
Wow.
And the
popular person.
Yeah. Well, the opponent got like 9% or 10% of the vote, and she's claiming rigged. And a lot of the people are saying it's rigged, and they were rioting in. I don't know what the city was, but it's the country's Belarus. And so they want a full investigation. And what was funny is the guy that's been in charge has been in charge since 1995. And they're like, they think something's up. Yet Putin is right behind this guy.
Right. There you go. He's right there, too. Yeah.
What's that, John?
The Belarus guy is frequently referenced as the last of the great dictators.
Is he? Okay.
Yeah.
And he wants to keep it.
He wants to keep it that way.
Yes.
He likes it that
as
way.
As they are prone to do.
Yeah, dictators are like that. So we're not the only ones going on with craziness. So there's that issue that they think the whole election was rigged in Belarus. So we'll see what comes of that. And Chicago says they're on lockdown.
Oh, Chicago, huh?
Yeah, they had some pretty ugliness over the weekend.
Did you hear the one that made the statement that they can take whatever they want for reparations?
It's reparations. Yeah. Yes,
it's reparation. It's okay to break it down
because their great grandfather or grandmother was a slave. So
or ever. Yeah,
I can take this shirt.
Consider it reparation.
Yes.
The mayor disagreed with that.
They were sending Twitter messages out to each other.
Yeah. Go and take what you want.
Come on down. We're looting, and you can get what you want, and it's all we're not going to get any cash. Yeah. I don't know if they said it was legal, but we're taking it all for reparations.
It's owed you.
It's owed you. That's right. It's owed to you. So come grab your Nike sneakers and this fur coat. I don't know what else they were grabbing, but I did see. I don't know if you saw it. I saw a video of a car literally smashing into a window of some establishment.
Yeah.
It took them 2 or 3 times to back up and
Yeah.
smash through it, and the people were just waiting for the glass to smash so they could all run in. and so that's going on there. And then in Seattle, the police chief just quit because the city council decided to defund the police. And I actually think it was a woman, but I can't remember. They just said, I'm not going to be part of this.
Yeah, right.
They sent he or she sent out an email to the other officers that were staying. I'm done.
I'm done.
This is just they were defunded and 100 cops were laid off or something like that.
Yeah.
Something close to that. So he's like,
hired more social workers.
Yep, hire more social workers. That's right. I can't be part of this.
Yeah.
On that happy note, we got to end the program. So
yeah,
that's what's going on in the world. So thank you very much for listening, everyone. So Linda, thanks for joining us today.
my pleasure as always, Joe.
All right, and John, thanks for joining us.
Yeah, great to be here.
All right, and Ed, thanks for joining us.
Thanks for inviting me.
All right, this.